I know what I'm about to say may seem controversial, but honestly, this fucking fandom has gotten to the point where I'm just annoyed as shit. I'm just annoyed as shit because quite frankly the fandom doesn't know actually when to actually respect people's boundaries, respect people in general, and doesn't know how to actually understand that people are not going to like the same things as them. In general, to put this perspective, I'm not talking about the has-been this fandom, because judging by the title, I'm talking about a fandom that I'm mostly in. The Dragon Ball community fandom. The Dragon Ball community fandom glazed the fuck out of Team 4 Star to the point that you cannot go anywhere or post anything without people making references about it. Don't get me wrong, abridged content is silly, funny, and all in good fun. I am actually working on a Has-Been Hotel abridged series, ironically enough, due to the fact that I shit on the show so many times. But the problem lies with how much the fandom takes into accountability and how much they reference it and even see it as actual canon. I know there's some people who adopt headcanons and make it into their own content, but if you're actively going on other content creators' shit just to tell them, hey, this should be happening, this is what happened, it's really grating, because I'm someone who's known for making the Frieza race expanded overhaul document. I made a Namekian and a unreleased Saiyan document because I'm currently fixing it up and tidying it up. So I always refer to that in my Tumblr. You probably know me as Pleasant Spark on Tumblr for those who actually are aware of me. I post regularly on there. I don't care about canon because I follow my own canon. So occasionally when I post on subreddits or even discords of Dragon Ball Z, there is always the one straggler that has to make it a point to reference abridged. I don't watch abridged. I mean, I occasionally browse, imagery of fan art of abridged, but I never actually do it. There was the occasional stray clip that I watched, but I never watched it. I don't care for abridged content. I mean, I love the hustle, but I just don't care. It's just satire that people take seriously for whatever reason. Mainly because the fandom has all agreed that the original Dragon Ball Z is lackluster, but that doesn't mean you should all obviously worship it. I don't know how if Team 4 Star is aware of how impactful their series is to the point that there's active in bullying. I don't know. Dragon Ball Z fans seem so hard to read because I have autism. I'm socially awkward in climates where I don't know how to read. I don't know how to read tone on the internet, so I assume everyone's hostile to me even though they claim they aren't. But sometimes I believe that they're lying because occasionally people can lie about being overly hostile. I've had that several times. But the issue is that the fandom takes this and glazes it to the next level and intrudes and tramples on people's personal headcanons and their personal own interpretation of the canon to the point that you can go anywhere. For instance, I have Zarbon, a character who was... The story is that he was involved with a Saiyan female who he never liked because both of them had a rivalry as old as time. They technically didn't like each other. They were fighting for the position before Dodora took the second position because at first I have a headcanon that Zarbon was the first person to join the ranks before Dodora. So there was like if I recall correctly, there was I'm still thinking about it. There was a incident, at least like there was like an instance where Frieza was shilling out elite ranks, like the second in command, third in command type ranks. I don't know what to explain, but they're high rank elite ranks. He was issuing out one of them at the time. Of course, one of the Saiyan females, which her name is Zushine, not to get confused with Orion's actual mother's name. Well, Dragon Ball Z revamped Orion's mother's name allegedly. I spoiled her. But essentially, what happened is Zushine and Zarbon fought over the position to the point that they were unable to work together or even tolerate each other. This caused quite a lot of tension, caused Frieza to fucking enjoy the fact that they were fighting over it, because quite frankly, he thought it was fucking humorous that these two were fighting over a position, but it got grating real quick. He ordered those two to actually settle their differences aside, but they refused to. If you don't know, this is totally something that's building up to what comes next. Essentially, after all that fighting, they ended up getting drunk at a party. I can't remember which kind of party, because the fanfiction I wrote, I'm not even going to look it up. They got drunk at a party, they slept together, one-night stand type shit. Then, Zushine got pregnant. So this is the issue where I actually fell into. She gets pregnant. She finds out. She gets really devastated. Drops out of the competition, even though it wasn't even the official competition. She lets Zarbon get the ranks, only for him to be confused because, dude, he found it exhilarating that someone was willing to compete over something. Because I don't know, he wants to compete against someone. She drops out, completely avoids him like the plague, and the rest is history. She gave birth to the known character Mikumi, my actual first OC, which actually, ironically enough, for Trepidation AU, another AU of mine, where it's actually following the logic of X Xenoverse 2, where it's a Time Patrol OC of mine, who accidentally gets trapped in a, it gets trapped inside a, an unmarked universe, essentially. An unmarked universe that does not have a way out, although it's still underdeveloped. So technically it follows, baseline Dragon Ball Z, but in a different, universe, I guess, from a scroll. She ends up having kids with nearly half the cast. I don't know. It was weird because it evolved from straight up, it was a harem fic. So she originally, she carried the original prototype of the character Mikumi before I actually moved her out, because I shipped Zarbon and Cell because it was so fucking silly as shit. I don't know what I was doing. So she carries Zarbon and Cell's offspring, known as Mikumi, mixture of Mitsuki, I think, I'm not sure, Mitsuki, Natsumi, and another Miku, yeah, Mikumi. So, yeah, that's the named convention right there. I was trying to figure out an idea, but I liked both of those names, so I merged both of their names together. And there's an in-universe explanation. She wanted to name them both the names, but, both of them really wanted a certain name, so she merged them together. Mikumi ended up being, looking like Zarbon because she, apparently Selk doesn't have DNA, but he does have DNA, I believe it. So that's how it is. But sadly, as I was saying, Mikumi was, of course, conceived by accident between Zarbon and Zushan, because hate sex is the best type of sex, in my opinion. She leaves. She gives birth to Mikumi alone because she did not want anyone to know about it. She ends up actually actively going out into battle after giving birth because I guess Saiyans are resilient like that. She dies in a conflict, leaving Mikumi alone with Zarbon. Well, not Zarbon, but Zarbon found out later on, because there's also another headcanon within a headcanon that after a Frieza Force member is offline, because I believe Frieza has this, console filled with all the, known soldiers in the base, and their faces are lit up with their number associated with it. And if that light goes off, that means they're dead. It's connected to their scouters, so of course he'll believe that someone died. And, of course, when they die, a cleaner is associated to their room, which surprise, surprise, they discover the existence of Mikumi. So that's the story. But then again, people will reference it to Oblivion and back for Team 4-star because Zarbon is apparently in a relationship with a guy because he's gay. Oh, look, he's gay. Another gay stereotype. I know it's a joke, but I'm sick and tired of hearing this shit over and over again. It's my personal canon. I don't know why people are trampling over my personal canon. I shouldn't have to lower my standards, or at least try to people please to the point that I have to change everything about my own canon because people don't know how to actually control themselves. I'm not saying that all Dragon Ball Z fans are like that, but they're unbelievably dense when it comes to how their world or their own world building works. Like, for example, they say that Android 16 is a full android, but in an AU of mine, revamped when I read it, he turned back. He came back because of a wish. They're forgetting that there's 7 Dragon Ball wishes, and you can wish for anything in this world, within reason, of course. So people act like it's, such a terrible idea, because it can never happen. You know what else can never happen? The likelihood of any of these fans actually going out and touching grass. Because I'm sick and tired of having to explain a billion, gazillion, drillion times that this is my personal canon, not anybody else. If you can accept Team 4-star's own canon, then you should accept anybody else's. It's not fair. You don't pick and choose what you think is canon and what it isn't. And you should respect everybody. Sure, this video is not going to actually change anybody else's mind, but it's slowly beginning to make me hate Team 4-star. I'm sorry. I know I shouldn't hate the creation, but or the creator, but If people can't respect other people's boundaries or their own opinions or their own, personal canon, then at this point it's within my ability to just not like this shit at all. Not it's gonna if anything, it's gonna make me not want to watch it less and less. I don't know about you, but how would you feel it like if you drew something, created something, a work of art that you believe is beautiful, only for someone to come in just to rain on your parade and tell you that your ideas are not superior to his or hers or anything else because X, Y, and Z made something great to the point that you have to constantly make it your personality, constantly reference it, constantly spurg out about it, and basically make it everyone else's deal. How does that make you feel? That you pour your heart and soul into something, only for someone to so crushingly tell you that your work is inferior to someone else's. I think that the fans should, uplift people too. They shouldn't, And the funny thing is, I made a Hiffle AU before I even knew about, Tave 4-star and Devil Artemis's Hiffle AU. So that's fucking wild. I didn't even know that happened. But the difference between my Hiffle AU, which is actually an upcoming audiobook that I made and is actively being worked on. So if you're looking for a new video idea, I'm currently waiting for a Cell's voice actor to actually do it. But I'm going to tell you, the production value on this audiobook is very good. So if you're looking forward to a new audiobook reading, then that's that. However, I revolve my life around writing. I've been working heavily since I was 11 years old. I actually worked on a custom novel, but it's not finished because I don't have any ideas. I've been writing for years. And if anything taught me is that people are not going to appreciate you until you're gone, and until your artwork means more to anybody else. There's a lot of people that are underrated in this world, and when they die, their artwork or their pieces of work that they've worked on somehow get resurfaced, and people start just sitting down and talking about how good this art was, even though no one has talked about it in years. It trends even after they die. I considered and I know this is about to be very sad, but I've been struggling with mental health. I know. I've been making videos about Pop's fandom, which is not a good idea when you're mentally distraught, but I'm just sad. There's nothing left for me to do anymore. So I threw myself into my own work trying to make something more worth it, to try to get actual people to understand. At least I have one person that understands me. There's not that many people in the world that actually understands, people, I suppose. No one understands anybody. I mean, it's hard to understand people because you got to put yourself out there. But the problem is that you're constantly being told that your artwork, you're getting compared to other people. And comparisons, that's kind of a trigger for me, honestly. Imagine being compared to someone with billions or millions or hundreds of subscribers, leagues of you. Getting compared constantly and telling you how your work isn't worth it. It only causes more self-esteem issues and makes it to the point that you end up working yourself to death. I barely had a single sleepful night at all in months and weeks. I've been sleeping, I know this sounds weird, but I've been up all night several times because I sleep in the reason why my upload schedule is erratic is because I don't get enough sleep. My bed, sure, I sleep with pictures of Dragon Ball Z characters on my bed because I'm autistic, but it's not the problem. I literally have enough room. I'm not fat, so I just sleep in the middle of the bed. But I sleep with headphones on. I sleep at night. And I still don't get enough sleep. When I wake up, it's usually at 3 a.m. or way later. And I'm unable to just think about anything. I can't even sit down. I think I'm starting to go tweaking. I'm starting to go tweak mode because I can't even sit down long enough. It's a surprise how I managed to get 3,000 words. But the problem is, it doesn't help it when people are constantly, judging you. Constantly making you feel like you're not worth it because you can't do better than someone with a bunch of subscribers and a bunch of fan influence, that your work is inferior. And hell, the What the Heffel series was basically based off of not Dragon Ball Z, but actually Hazbin Hotel and making it into a better idea. And the funny thing is, I didn't even know about the Hiffle series that Team 4-Star did. Which is weird because I always tend to go look at Amos 06's content, and I didn't even notice it was a Hiffle. And the problem is, I mentioned it several times, and everyone's like, oh, this is like Team 4-Star, and I'm like, no, it's literally inspired by Hazbin Hotel. It's supposed to be an adult spin-off spoof parody, minus the F-bombs and swear words. And you know what? At this point, I've considered giving up, trying hard drugs, maybe actually running into traffic because that's what everyone tells me to do. I'm not worth anything to anyone, apparently. My work is bullshit. Everyone tells me otherwise. They're like, oh, your work is good. They're just glazing me. If I wanted genuine people to understand me, I would have actually gone. I've given up everything for my sake of my YouTube career that's not even starting. I gave up school. I gave up my own dignity. Hell, I gave up my friends and family just to make it big on YouTube. I dropped out of school twice. I ruined my life all for nothing. Because I thought I was gonna basically become the next meme channel. But no, I ruined my life. I made a gamble and I ruined my life. It's not fair. Nothing in life is fair, apparently. And you know what? I'm just gonna be content. Unlike many people who just give up easily, I'm just gonna let this fester. Let this video be a festering reminder not to let people dictate what you do. Love what you love, because at this point, if I don't make any content after this, you can consider me dead. Probably succumb to my actual desires of killing myself. You know, it's just always that one small chance I might actually get through with it and actually leave. And the funny thing is, if people watch this even after I'm gone, they're gonna be like, oh my god, this person literally said they're gonna kill themselves, and now I'm watching some dead person do it. And they know the silly little thing is the silliest thing ever. No one will know that I'm dead. My parents wouldn't even care. They don't know how to navigate they wouldn't even follow through with my last wish. So if I ever, schedule a video and it says something along the line of goodbye, and it's just a blank text with white letters, probably in a fancy handwriting, or probably with a character in the background, just let them know. That's going to be my 13th reason final note to everything. It's also going to be posted on my Tumblr. And I probably just gave up the fight in the battle. But chances are, I'm just struggling. I don't know when this pain is ever going to stop. Probably won't. Because honestly, it's been here for 20 years now. Not my entire life, but since I was 8 years old. I've been depressed since I was 8 years old, which is funny because how can an 8-year-old be depressed? My first suicidal ideation was actually asking if I should jump out the window at 8 years old, which I never told anybody. I assumed that it was just, voices in my head, but then it got worse. I started feeling actually wanting to do it. Yeah, so you just heard from me that a 8-year-old was depressed and wanting to kill themselves. No 8-year-old should feel that way. Anyways, I hope you guys did not enjoy this, because you shouldn't be enjoying somebody venting out in public. But, the next video should be done once Cell's voice actor gets his lines ready. I don't know, we've been waiting on him for a while. I already got everyone else's voice lines, so I hope you enjoy. The production value of this is kind of mid. I actually got a new fucking intro, a sick new intro. I hope you enjoy this. See you later.